The sky was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's SGL action. My name is Luis, and joining me in the booth tonight is my good buddy from the Rebellion, Shorts. How you doing, man?
I'm good. What's up, everybody? Exciting night for some Rocket League.
Indeed, it is. Tonight we will be commentating Los Verdes versus Steel Army. Two exciting teams, two teams that have been mainstays in SGL for a long time. I'm really looking forward to tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of familiar names. Some exciting people to watch that are going to be on the pitch. Looking for some big plays, especially some defensive plays. We got a couple of really strong defensive players in the lobby today, from what I recall.
Yeah, absolutely. Palace or Los Verdes has been one of the standout players this season, not only defensively, but just in general in FGL. He'll be the catalyst for the Austin team tonight in terms of basically everything. Palace is the guy. He's him for his team. And then on the other side, Debit is a player that I'm going to highlight as being kind of their carry, their best player. He will be, the Palace of his team. Although, in fairness to Steel Army is a little bit more well-balanced in terms of all three players and what Los Verdes can offer. But again, some really good players on the field tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
I am as well. If we can move forward, producer Maz, to the next slide here, we have the league table. So let's take a look at where these two sides tonight fall under the table. We have Los Verdes sitting in 7th place at 1-3. And then we have Steel Army sitting in 10th place at 0-3, looking for their first win tonight.
Yeah, Steel Army 0-3 in 10th place, probably a shocker to some who have been longtime viewers, longtime players of this league. They are a team that, while not competing for league titles, they tend to be a team that is always a playoff team, always a team that is not an easy out. And so, yeah, that 0-3 mark is something that they're going to be looking to kind of put off to the side and move on, because it's not been the best start to their season. Although, in fairness to them, they have had an extremely hard schedule. They've had a couple West games versus the very best. I think one of them was Black Army? I'll take a peek here again. But again, their schedule has been relatively rough, and I don't really think it shows the quality that team truly possesses. And yeah, I'm just looking back over it. They've had the Locals, who are the best team in the league, in week 1, which they did take a game off of the Locals, which is fairly impressive given how the Locals have done so far this season. And then in week 2, they did play ECRC, one of the other powerhouses of this league. And then in week 3, they played the defending champion. So again, a very rough start for them, but they're going to be looking to rectify that with tonight's matchup.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing to point out, that they are technically the underdogs based off the table, having not won a match yet this season. So, they won't feel like they're the underdogs, but yeah, looking at the tables, Los Verdes kind of have their feet under them, having had a victory in this season. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, LV is interesting. You see them on your screen right now, and they are 1-3 with 10 points, which is kind of remarkable. I mean, it's telling you that they are, when they are losing, they are getting to 1 or 2 games every series they lose. So those points do add up, And for a 1-3 team to have a 50% games won percentage, it's kind of rare. You really don't really see that. So they are right in the playoff race. This is an important game for them to continue that battle right there on the edge of the playoffs. And for Steel Army, this will be their 4th game. They are a little bit behind on matches played from the rest of the league, but yeah, important for both teams in the league standings. And I'll go ahead and we'll do a mini prediction here before we move on. I'm going to go with a Steel Army win today, Shorts. I think they're going to get on the board. I think they're going to get their first win of Season 8. I'm going to go in 4 games. I'm going to go Steel Army 3-1 tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on the Steel Army. Just given the talent that they have and the consistency, I would not be surprised if Los Verdes put up a great fight tonight, though, which is why I'm going to go for the distance. It's going to be a 3-2. Los Verdes do have, as you said, a history of putting up games. Even if they don't win the match, they do put up games. But I can see early in the series, if Los Verdes do get on the front foot, we could see them take the match. But yeah, going with Steel Army here.
Awesome. And then if we want to go ahead and go on over at the player stats before we do get into the game tonight, I'll go ahead and look at those. And as you see on your player stats, we have some names that we will be seeing tonight. We have Palace in particular, who has been again Los Verdes' standout player. You see him as 2nd most in total points, 4th total in goals. He's really putting up some stellar numbers for his side.
Yeah, and that does put a lot of pressure on a player to be the go-to for just about everything. You see him all over the stats list there. And something else to point out, or lack there to point out, is not much out of the Steel Army players on here.
Yeah, I was trying to go through to see if I see any of them, and I don't think I do. I think playing that tough schedule is going to really do that to a team like Steel Army. And then I also just quickly, Devin as well is in and amongst these. I see him all over the saves category as well with Palace, and he's also in the total points category. So shout out to Devin. He has been an addition last season to Los Verdes that really elevated them as a team from being easily the worst team in the league to a team in which Palace has a bit of help, because it was just the Palace show for much of last season, and I think they went. I don't think they won a game last season, if I recall. So once Devin came in, he's been a massive increase to just the overall floor for Los Verdes. So shout out to Devin as well in these stats.
Yeah, and just having 2 players both in the top 5 of total points, what does that mean to you? Does that mean this is going to be more of a chaotic game? That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, one of the things with the total points category, obviously, it's determined on how many games you've played. So if you tend to go with longer series, which Los Verdes has, they've played, I think, more games than most teams in the league. You're gonna see that, but it's not just a fluke to be on that top 5. So does it lead to more chaotic games? Yeah, in a sense. I think the longer you go in a series, the more chaotic it is by default. So yeah, anytime Los Verdes steps onto the pitch, it's always a fun time. I believe they have 2 Game 5s this season against 2 of the better teams in the league. I think it's the Rebellion and El Matador. So they've gone to Game 5 against 2 of the better teams in the league as well. So it's always a fun time when Los Verdes is on the field.
Yeah, and I think we're going to move on from the player statistics. Next, looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a delay with some folks showing up late to the match. So you're gonna have to listen to Lewis and I for a little bit, which for most of you, I hope you'll enjoy. So Maz, if we could possibly get the week 5 matches.
There you go. Nice. What stands out to you so far in terms of the games this week, Shorts? I mean, are any of these games here stand out to you?
Yeah, a couple of them. First off, the locals versus KC Cauldron, two powerhouse teams. You would have expected probably a closer matchup between the two, but a clean sweep by the locals.
Yeah, and for the KC Cauldron, they are 2-3. The defending champions are 2-3. They're in 8th place. They're out of a playoff spot. They've had a rough go of it this season. It's kind of hard to tell watching their games why that is. It just seems like they're just not playing to the level that we in SGL are used to seeing the KC Cauldron play at. Not to discredit the other teams they've played, but they just seem to have dropped a level. So they're going to be looking for this next half of the season to kind of get back into that champions form that we've been very accustomed to seeing them over the past few seasons in SGL.
Yeah, and the start that they've given themselves, it's not a dire situation. No need to panic. They've given themselves a chance to make a run in the second half of the season and be a playoff team and be a top few at the top of the leaderboard. But moving on to having participated in this match and thought about it and looked at the two teams, the Rebellion versus Black Army. Us going into a clean sweep in that match, I honestly did not expect out of us, the Rebellion.
Yeah, that was going to be the other game that I highlight from this week of games. Your team Shorts, like you just said, went in and swept for me, and I think this, that Black Army, for most people, was like the best team coming into this week, and I was amongst that category, and you guys went in and swept them fairly convincingly, if I may add. And so what we're starting to notice this season in particular is that SGL is a league in which every game is one that both teams can win. Historically, it must be said that there has been a chasm in the skill gap between teams, but it seems to be shrinking as we move on in SGL. And again, this season is no short of that as well. So I think the Rebellion as a team in general are very, very criminally underrated in this league. They have really produced, and if you've played them in private lobbies or in games or whatnot, they are very well organized. For me, the best organized team. They have a really good system. They kind of emulate another team in our league, ECRC, in terms of having very defined roles, very good passing plays, very good systems. And yeah, you see that with kind of the run they've gone on. I believe your team Shorts had a week 1 loss, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
But I think y'all have gone again 3 wins in a row, and are really starting to push in the right direction.
Yeah, well, now that I am sufficiently blushing, let's go talk about the match that you played in this week. El Matador clean sweeping Emerald City Defiance. One that you would kind of, on paper, expect that to be the result, to be honest. Unfortunately, I was not able to watch that match. So, Lewis, if you could walk us through a little bit on how that went and how you were looking going into that game.
Yeah, so EM in this league is a conundrum. We kind of just feels like on every game week, we never really know what to expect from ourselves. Obviously, we did expect to win this game, as I think Defiance had only won 2 individual matches all season. So, yeah, clean sweep. Every game was 3-2. So very close series, and yeah, got the win, and really looking forward to playing the locals next week.
Yeah,
Nice.
and to close out the week's matches really quick, it looks like we have our teams ready to go. Just Emerald City Blue losing 1-3 to Timbers Army, another one that we would kind of expect on paper.
Yeah, that one was pretty straightforward, to be honest. I think the one game that EC Blue got was, I don't want to say fluky. It was actually a pretty back and forth series. I think that game 4, to be honest, could have gone either way. I think it was like an OT game from EC Blue there. So again, another good series there. But I think TA the better team, and they really need that win, TA. So so yeah, that wraps up week 5 of SGL. We've hit the midway point in the league, and we've got one final game remaining in week 5, which is Los Verdes versus Steel Army. And both teams are entering the field, Shorts. Let's get this underway, and let's see if these two teams can put on a show like we know they can.
Yeah, let's get into it. Steel Army versus Los Verdes. Very excited. Both teams are here. For Steel Army, it looks like we have Debit, Red 4, and Bear Blitz. And then Los Verdes, we have Devin, Bust Insider, 6996, and KC Palace.
So the brothers are on the field rather for Steel Army, and Los Verdes playing their strongest lineup in my opinion. So here we go. Both teams with their strongest lineups, and really looking forward to this shorts as we do see an early start to the game from Steel Army, and again, really good offensive pressure, and man, that really should have been a goal for Steel Army.
Yeah, not clinical right now. And oh, they just go the other way and score.
Now, what happened here? We have a Red 4 whiff there. Really good individual play, by the way, from Palace. And then Devin, I think, with his bumping, deserved a goal. And he got the goal there for his team. It's 1-0 to Los Verdes.
Yeah, a little chaotic to start. Los Verdes taking advantage of their chance, but Steel Army did have their own chance at the beginning. So if they want to keep this match close, they got to capitalize on those.
Yeah, and so many times, Shorts, and you can talk to this as well, when you have a clear-cut chance on one end of the field and you don't take advantage of that, it could very so often lead to a goal for the other team. That's exactly what we saw there.
Yeah, percentage-wise, if you miss an easy chance, it's going to come back and haunt you. We did see Los Verdes kind of commit to that first chance for Steel Army. They didn't score there.
Yeah, and so far it does seem like Steel Army has leveled themselves. They're putting on all the pressure, and as we see Palace, again, another save, one of the league leaders in saves, doing what he does best.
Yeah, ball spending a lot of time in Los Verdes' side right now. It seems like they can't get a good clearance. Maybe just a little bit of lack of boost control right now. Do get a little bit of chip out. Soft chance on net.
I really think Palace has started very well for Los Verdes. He seems to be in control, whether he has low boost, a lot of boost, good 50s, good individual solo plays. And if Los Verdes is going to win this series, they're going to need Palace to do exactly what he did there. A good center ball to bust inside her. 6-9, or 9-6 rather, my apologies. And again, kind of a surprising scoreline, and I'm just fairly impressed with the way that Los Verdes is playing.
Yeah, Steel Army has not played clean so far, and Los Verdes has taken advantage of that. We think we need a little bit of control coming out of Steel Army for them, and it looks like maybe this is the turning point. Red 4 with a nice open shot.
Yeah, Bus Insider on one end, tremendous goal from a center ball from Palace, and on the other end, running away from his goal with the ball coming towards it, probably not ideal. And if you're Steel Army, that is a break that you really, really needed.
Yeah, this match can really go a couple ways right now. It seems like it's anybody's match to take. A lot of time left. A lot of goals scored already. So defense needs to step it up.
Yeah, there is a lack of defense on the field right now, and as I say that, Palace, David, again, with a tremendous save. I mean, farming the saves here, and doing a tremendous job goalkeeping for his team. And yeah, I will say, I mean, I think David here, or Palace, has been the stand-up player so far, but again, we haven't even hit the halfway mark yet, so it's anybody's game.
Yeah, like you said, haven't even hit the halfway mark, and Palace already has 3 saves, so maybe speaks to a little bit of how their playstyle is going to be in their rotations, and Palace is looking to hold back. Might be something they look to change in the future if the game keeps going this way.
Yeah, absolutely. And having played with a lot of these players in this lobby on numerous occasions, I have to feel that Steel Army, as the series goes on, surely will be playing a little bit better. But again, you have to like if you're Los Verdes where you're at. 2 minutes left. Although you aren't the underdogs in the standings, I think most people skill-wise would say that you are the underdogs. But so far, they're playing tremendously. Ooh. And as I say that, the commentary curse does kick in. Debit makes it 2-2 with a very Rocket League 50 that just worked out. So, yeah, Debit scores second goal for Steel Army, and it's all tied up.
Yeah, get the ball in the middle, get the ball in net. That's all it takes for Steel Army to get their comeback goal to tie this up.
Yeah, and so far, I really do also want to highlight Devin. I think he's been complimenting Palace very well today. So you do see Bear Blitz go for a aerial. Great passing play. It's just unfortunate that the person who finished it off was not on his team.
A little bit of commentator curse.
Yeah,
It was
Devin with the periods in the in-game chat highlighting his mistake, and it's 3-2 to Steel Army.
Yeah, got to stay mentally tough after a play like that. See how Devin responds.
Yeah, you can't let those. I mean, we've all been there. You know, whether you're Justin or you're a measly bronze 2, we've all made mistakes. So you kind of have to just shake it off and go again. As we see a debit come out, maybe some more physical play from Steel Army.
Yeah, Palace with an air dribble towards the middle. 50 loss, but Devin's able to keep it in.
Yeah, and as this game has progressed, Shorts, I mean, we did really see Los Verdes at the very start of the game have total control from what it feels like, but it just seems like the experience. Ooh, and as we see a very close attempt from Bear Blitz, should have scored. I'm going to have to speak to the old man later today because that should have been a goal. It was a tremendous center ball by Debit, and that should have killed the game, but Los Verdes are going to take that, and they're right back in this.
A little bit of a triple commit there, but strong defensive plays to at least get the clearance out. We get a long clear here from Palace on net, but saved by Bear Blitz.
Yeah, we do see Palace again. Center ball to his teammates. Double commit does come out. Debit on the wall. Goes for a double tap. Gets bumped.
Oh, the bump.
Ooh, that should have been a goal. I think maybe Debit ran out of boost, maybe? Have to see that one back, but that was a great chance to finish the game. And as we do have 15 seconds here, can Los Verdes find one, Shorts?
Ooh, it's going to be close. Looks like Steel Army's playing really well right now. Bear Blitz, to highlight him, is all over the pitch right now. And oh, the commentator curse.
Oh, no.
Oh, missed on an open net. Bust Insider. And we have Steel Army taking game 1, 3-2.
Oh, you hate to see it, missing an open net, and then the insta dropping the controller. There was no movement on Bust Insider's car there. We've been there. That's wow. That is a goal that you are going to want back, or a miss rather that you're going to want back if you're Los Verdes. But in general, the stats do say that Steel Army, they had the majority of the shots, and Los Verdes did have the majority of the saves. But I don't know. I feel like in the balance of play, I think it was a pretty even game. And yeah, if Los Verdes decides to hit some open nets, maybe they have a chance of going to OT.
Yeah, I agree. Los Verdes, the first couple minutes, they did take their chances. They took 2 of them right away and took that 2-0 lead. But as the game went on, it seems like maybe they just sat back and got comfortable with their lead and hoped that Steel Army wasn't able to make that comeback. But they were. The players that Steel Army have are definitely skilled enough and well-oiled enough to make a comeback like that if you give them the opportunity. Honestly, I want to highlight Bear Blitz. I know I said it before, but at the end of that match, he was firing on all cylinders on both ends of the field, getting passes across the middle, and really holding it down. But now they need to keep that going. If Steel Army, I'm talking about, needs to keep that going so that they can take on game 2 as we get into it.
Yeah, and you feel if you're Los Verdes, is a game that you basically must win. It'd be very hard to envision a scenario in which they do reverse sweep this Steel Army team. And so here we go. Big game for Los Verdes. And again, as we mentioned at the start of the stream, big game as well for Steel Army in general. They are winless. So even though you expect them to win here, given the talent on the field, nerves are going to be a factor when you haven't won a game. And so I'm looking forward to this game too.
Oh, we have Bear Blitz taking the shot on net. Good play from Steel Army. Looks like a little bit of a pass out by Debit. Bear Blitz taking the deep shot. Nobody in net for Los Verdes. Maybe a missed rotation there.
Yeah, it seemed like Bust Insider came up from that third man role and didn't really expect Bear Blitz to be where he was to get the opening goal of game 2. And yeah, you highlighted Bear Blitz, and he starts off game 2 with a goal.
Yep, Steel Army finishing off game 1 strongly, starting game 2 strongly. See how they can continue here.
Yeah, and if you're Los Verdes, you really need to stop the bleeding here. You really need to get back into this game, get control of the ball, get some 50s in, because you really don't want to see the avalanche that we do know can come from this Steel Army team. As we see Bear Blitz at a very creative aerial play, getting a dunk on a Los Verdes player. Wow, more physical play out of Steel Army. I think that's been a real change in their gameplay since about minute 2 in game 1, and it's paying dividends.
Yeah, they are getting into the back lines of Los Verdes. They're getting a little bit of boost control, getting some bumps, and that can really... Oh, here we have Red 4 just being faster than Los Verdes and taking an easy shot on net. And this is the pressure that's been loading up the entirety of the first half of this game so far.
Yeah, we see question marks in the in-game chat from Palace wondering how the ball bounced where it did, but Red 4 says, I don't care, and he puts it away 2-0, and when Red 4 is scoring goals for Steel Army, that's a good sign. Red 4, not usually the player that people talk about on this team, but he was in the right place at the right time and finished the ball off perfectly.
Yeah, it seems like the way that Los Verdes really need to attack the rest of this game is to get control of the clearances of the balls in their end. Los Verdes, or Steel Army rather, is really pushing up into the offensive third. Los Verdes need to get a clearance like this and possibly, off the net by Devin. Can they keep it in though?
Yeah, lovely beat by Devin. He beats 2 defenders and just hits it off the crossbar there. It's like super unlucky, but great play from him. And then the follow-up shot from Palace, a little bit too soft, and Devitt was there for the clear, but better from Los Verdes. And here we go, Palace with the beat, and there you go, right back into the game. Los Verdes they're right back into the game, and again, Palace, the catalyst for it. Great beat over 1, the outspeed on Red 4, and yeah, Shorts, that's better from Los Verdes.
Absolutely, and all it takes is just one individual play that could really swing the momentum of a game. So hopefully Los Verdes can take this momentum and go score another one. And the commentator curse always rears its ugly head. Bear Blitz with a nice aerial into top bins of Los Verdes net.
Yeah, a ball that you expect Palace to hit on the clear. Ghost touch in the in-game chat from him as well. Yeah, you expect a clearance there, but if you're Red 4, or if you're Bear Blitz rather, you're always going to be there just in case, and he was there, and he was rewarded for his positioning, and that's got to be deflating if you're Los Verdes. You just get back into the game, and you kind of give up a pretty soft goal, which for any Rocket League player you never want to do.
Yeah, and it already looks like Los Verdes is absorbing a bit of pressure following that goal. Steel Army maybe sitting back a little bit, trying to play this lead that they have, which who knows if that'll actually work for them, because for Los Verdes it did not in game 1 after they took a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, it's tough to see where the offense is going to come from here for Los Verdes. Steel Army very comfortable here defending their half. It's going to take some individual skill is what it feels like, kind of how they got their first goal to get back into this game, and I just don't think right now it's advantageous to keep playing this way. They're going to really need to turn something around.
Yeah, momentum says Steel Army right now, and it seems like it's going to take a lot to get it back on Los Verdes' side. Even just one lucky goal at this point isn't going to really do it for them. With the time kind of ticking down, we're down to about a minute 35 left.
Yeah, it's time ticking down, and we do see the shot totals from both teams here are getting... Wow, I don't know, Shorts, how that did not end up in the back of the net. That was... someone is on the blooper reel there, but yeah, the shots are just keep coming in from Steel Army, and yeah, just very comfortable here. They've got to really like where they're at.
Yeah, and you can kind of see that how we spoke about earlier with Los Verdes, and they were winning games, but they're not winning matches. They have their chances here. They could be winning games, but they have not taken that last step to finish off and win matches. And here we have Devitt taking an open net again and putting the lead to 4-1 with just under a minute left. It'll be really tough for Los Verdes to come back here.
Yeah, it'll be really tough. You got to feel this is game, set, match for game 2. And if you're Steel Army, you're well on your way to your first series win of the season. Yeah, it just seems like they have a little bit too much for Los Verdes here. It'll take something dramatic in games 3 and beyond if Los Verdes want to get back in this series.
Yeah, the one saving grace would be a garbage time goal to get the momentum back, and I think that's really the only chance that Los Verdes have, and they have a little bit of pressure here with Devin taking the ball into the Steel Army half and stealing some boost and beating Debit, bar down, and it goes in. Hey, so
Yeah,
you're saying there's a chance?
always a chance. And again, 2 goals in 30 seconds is so doable. And yeah, want to highlight Devin there. That was tremendous. A beat on the first defender and then to hit it upper 90 crossbar. Very nicely done. Let's see what Los Verdes has here on the kickoff. Not the best kickoff, but they're going to need a goal here soon, Schwartz, if they want to salvage something from game 2.
Yeah, tick, tick, tick. The clock is going down. Bus Insider might have an open chance here as we go down to 10 seconds left. Los Verdes need 2 goals. Not looking too good for them right now.
Yeah, camping the net and on the breakaway. Debit's going to get another goal here. Kind of stat padding here, Debit. I see you. But again, they put 3 people in net and they said come score, and that was about all she wrote for game 2. And yeah, all in all said, very comfortable game from Steel Army. Defensively sharp, outshot Los Verdes by what feels like a metric ton. And actually, what a save by Palace there. Farming saves. I also see him farming those saves for his top 5 placement. But yeah, Shorts, what were your thoughts on game 2? It seemed pretty comfortable for Steel Army.
Yeah, clean cut game for Steel Army. They played what they needed to play. You know, that game was just keeping the pressure on, creating some chaos in the back line with bumps and boost steals. I'd be interested to see the amount of boost stolen because I haven't seen too much of it, but you know they're hanging out in the Los Verdes half a lot. So Los Verdes really need to turn that around if they want any chance of even not getting swept this series. Never mind just winning one game.
Yeah, and as you see here, folks, on your screen, the shots are heavily in favor of Steel Army. Saves on the other end for Los Verdes. It really seems like in these sorts of series where it kind of comes down to your third player. 'Cause I think in this series it's pretty evident that we have Palace and Devin on one side, and Bearblitz and Palace and Devin rather on one side, and Debit and Bearblitz on the other side for Steel Army. And it comes down to those thirds sometimes. You know, who has the better third, and I think it's pretty evident that Red 4 is having a massive contribution where maybe Bus Insider 6996 isn't really doing that. So we'll look to see if those thirds get going in this game 3. But man, it really seems like all the momentum is with Steel Army right now.
Yeah, and the one caveat is having played Los Verdes previously, we do know Bus Insider has it in him to step it up to another level and be that defensive line and get quality clearances and control. So we'll need him to kind of bring that out for the rest of the series if they want a chance.
Oh my. What are we doing there? That is a fantastic individual passing play to what it seemed like an open Palace, and just the ball didn't go in the net. Wow, that is going to be very tilting if you're Los Verdes.
Yeah, they had their chance. The good news is they haven't given up any goals to Steel Army, though the momentum might be not in their way.
Yeah, and again, I think Devin's play, Toe Death in the chat highlighting Devin as well. I think Devin's been tremendous. I think he's played really well, and yeah, those are the sorts of plays that you are going to need to finish off if you're going to come not only from behind in a series, but just win any series, period. So let's see if Los Verdes can rectify that mess. Bus Insider a little bit more aggressive, and it results in a goal for his son Devin, the father linking up with the son. A little bit more aggressive play out of Bus Insider, and well, the result is a Los Verdes lead in game number 3.
Yeah, I love it. Let's get the drama going. Los Verdes, score another one.
Yeah, I'm here for a longer series. That would be fine by me. But yeah, now that I mentioned the father-son duo, there are 5 people on this field that have familial connections. And as I say that, one brother to another, Debit to Bearblitz, it seemed like Bus Insider got a little bit too antsy and caught up in a challenge there, but great pass. And Bearblitz ties up the game with a 3 minutes 38 to go.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out on that play that I noticed is that Bus Insider was sitting quite far back. Oh, I'll get back to that. We have Devitt scoring another goal on the kickoff. Seems like the defensive rotations were not there for Los Verdes. And that kind of is to the point that I was going to say for the goal that they had given up before this, is that Bus Insider was set way too far back and gave Steel Army the ability to play out together. And that's what led to them scoring their goal.
Yeah, one thing that I want to highlight on that goal there, the deft touch to go to the wall instead of just shooting it upfield. Love that from Devitt. And yeah, that's Devitt, man. We've been seeing that for a while, and Palace again off the post, and it's going to result in a goal. Oh no, it doesn't. Off the post again, but man, 2 golden chances for the best player on Los Verdes, and it just didn't go in the net. And oh man, it just seems like calamity at the back right now for Los Verdes. So what an unfortunate past 15 seconds from Palace and Los Verdes. And wow, Schwartz, that might be all she wrote.
Yeah, Devitt with a great pass across the middle, and Redford just in the right spot at the right time. If they can keep this up, it is going to be game over for Los Verdes. Just lack of quality play in the back line, it seems. Not able to get the possession.
And they had their chances. I mean, a couple of golden chances from Palace in this game, just in general in this series. A little bit more clinical play, and I think they're really, we're seeing a different scoreline here, but that's how it goes. If you're not clinical, you're going to typically not win Rocket League games. So we'll see if they can be a little bit more clinical as we finish this game 3.
Yeah, we're just about halfway through, and you got to start to think that maybe there might be some confidence issues with Los Verdes right now that is leading to their kind of miscommunications, and everybody's kind of all over the place. Oh, we have almost a crazy save from Red 4, but KC Palace does enough to get it in the net.
Yeah, man, I know David was pissed for getting bumped there because he had a potential for a double tap, but it went crossbar and down. I didn't think the physics would do that, but great goal by Palace there, and they really needed that. With 2 minutes left, they really have a chance here if they play their cards right.
Yeah, Palace needing to be the one that steps up here as a kind of star player for Los Verdes.
Yeah, good center ball. Devin up for it. Doesn't have enough boost to get it a shot on goal, but keeps it in the offensive end. And again, better play by Bus Insider here on the offensive attack, keeping the pressure. Yeah, this seems to be an all-out attack from Los Verdes, which they need. They are losing, and they need to score goals. So better offensive play, but in the end, not enough.
Little double commit there. That is not able to be punished by Los Verdes. Steel Army just keeping the ball in Los Verdes and getting the ball in the middle, getting shots on net, and Bearblitz just barely misses an open net there.
Yeah, Bearblitz barely misses an open net, as we do see Devin pops it up, beats 2 players. Where is the third? He's there, and it's in the net.
Yes.
Wow, lovely play by Devin here. This time it's the son to the father, and the father puts it in, and we've got a tie ball game with 1 minute left. Way better cohesive play from Los Verdes in the offensive half.
Yeah, if they could take this game, that could be kind of the floodgates opening effect, where they just kind of turn it on, and we can see a real match here. The ball's cleared out there by Palace. A little bit of back and forth as both teams are kind of feeling this game out as it's tied, but Bearblitz with a 50, he keeps it going. In game 3.
Yeah, the flying brick known as Bearblitz, just yeah, it's the old man aerials back at it again. Big 50, just bodies Palace there on the back. Fairly unfortunate, but again, Bearblitz, we're seeing some quality out of him that in previous seasons I don't think we've seen. So kudos to him. And another 50 goes awry for Los Verdes. It's 5-3. Red 4 this time picking up the goal, and I don't think Palace thought Red 4 was going to go for that, and he did, and it resulted in one of those 50s that just ends up in the back of your net.
Yeah, you could see all 6 players were in that front third of the map. really just keeping that high pressure on by Steel Army, and Los Verdes are just absorbing the pressure, and it's not working out for them as Steel Army is just playing too well right now to allow them that much space in the offensive third.
Yeah, and they are going to need a goal now if they are going to rescue anything here. And it's Palace in the back, and Palace out of the play, and this is a chance. If they work this right, they might have a chance here. Shorts center ball. Is Palace there?
taking a shot on that.
Oh, and he's not there, and there's no boost for Devin, and we just see the end here for Los Verdes, and there we go. Steel Army victors for the first time in Season 8, a sweep of Los Verdes. Wow, what a series, Shorts. Yeah, what are your initial thoughts kind of following what we've seen tonight?
Yeah, going into it, this is not kind of the result that we would expect, but as the games went on, it's really exactly what we would have expected. Just the teams that showed up tonight. Steel Army showed up. Los Verdes, not so much. We did know that they had the skill to be able to, but yeah, they just did not bring their A game, and Steel Army exploited it.
Yeah, it seems like on the balance of play, the victories for Steel Army was, I think, correctly. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but I think Steel Army was like, yeah, the better team, and I think the win reflects that. And yeah, it just feels like for Los Verdes, a couple of just bad third man positioning, and man, they hit the post and crossbar and missed a lot of open nets that you don't normally see them doing. And yeah, in this league and in any league, if you do that, you're probably not going to win games. But yeah, congratulations to Steel Army, first victory of the season. Kind of having that rough initial schedule. Don't want to take anything away from Los Verdes, but an easier team, and they are officially on the board in Season 8. So congratulations to them. And in defeat, I will say as well, I think Devin played tremendous. I think Devin was my standout player from that series on Los Verdes' side. And yeah, if they keep that up, they will definitely be in and around that last playoff spot.
Yeah, definitely. And given where both these teams are in the leaderboards right now, it'd be really interesting to see where everyone lands on the bottom half of the league standings right now. With both of these teams having one match win, it seems like it's going to be a lot on the games that you've won and the matches that you've lost if you're going to be higher on the leaderboard when you're in that lower half.
Yeah, and I think on that note, we are ready to bring in debut from Steel Army. So if we want to bring in Debit, that would be fantastic. Oh, there he is, Debit. Welcome, congratulations, first win of Season 8. How did it feel to get your first win of the season?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, we've been fighting for our lives out there. Who's the schedule maker of this league? We played like top 3 teams in the first 3 weeks, and then it's just like, all right, take a quick breather. No, it feels good. I think we played pretty well overall. I'm happy with the result.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, and yeah, for me and Shorts, it was a tremendous series to cast. Obviously, Los Verdes, in terms of the record, maybe not. If you look at, they're 1-4 or whatever, but they have a lot of points and they've put up some really good fights against really good teams. So, yeah, any comments on how they played or any of their performances?
I think they played kind of shaky tonight. Like, honestly, I feel like I've seen them at a way better level, like especially in like those EC Blue series that they had with them. I was expecting like kind of a firefight tonight. Maybe something was up there, but like I don't know, we just stuck it out, stuck to our game plan, and did what we did, and got 3 points out of that. And it's kind of huge because they've been getting all the gritty points of the league, grinding out the game 5. So it's good to get the sweep here.
Yeah, and that's something that we spoke to before the game, that Los Verdes were always putting up a fight, even if they weren't winning the matches and winning games. So both Lewis and I, we both expected Los Verdes to at least take one game today. So seeing them get clean swept, we're a little bit surprised. But given the way that the games played out, you all on Steel Army really looked like the dominant team. What kinds of things did you as a team take into this match that kind of led to that domination?
I think like specific things that could be thought of, but like I feel like one of the bigger things is like for me, I've been trying to focus on like not trying to be like the guy. I just want to like be like a supporting guy for uh the two teammates in front of me at all times. Like throwing more bumps out, throwing more demos out. And I know it kind of takes a bit to get in gear for that, but whenever we get into the point where we can get more of a flow state sort of rotation going, and then you see like with Red 4, like once the transition is happening, it's way more comfortable in the middle of the field. Bear Blitz, you just want him carrying the ball at all times. So, I mean, if we get those things going, then and if I just have to stay in the midfield, be a disruptor, and then maybe get some offense back, I think that's when we're at our best.
Yeah, the old man had a couple good aerial and 50s there. In particular, Game 3, the aerial he had to a 50, which I believe ended up being the game-winning goal there, one of at the end. Yeah, Bear Blitz played tremendous in my view. All right, midway through the season, first win. How are you feeling for the rest of the season?
Well, it feels a little bit like the weight's lifted off. I feel confident in this team overall. I mean, we've taken a game off the locals, had unfortunate against KC, had a 3-1 against ECRC as well. Like, honestly, in a lot of ways, I feel confident with the team. It's just good to finally see the result actually happen for once. So, going into like the next few weeks against, like Black Army's already like our next tough test. But honestly, we'll just take it a game at a time. I think we're a confident group. When we'll get the weird goals, but hey, if that's what it takes to win, then we'll do it.
Well,
Yeah,
awesome.
whatever
Man.
it takes to win.
Yeah, Shorts, you want to ask any more questions, or should we let Debit here speak to the fans?
I'm good, Devitt. Floor is yours.
Oh gosh, the floor is mine. Shout out my teammates. You all are amazing. Keep letting me do the surrounding things for you and keep shooting the ball because I can't shoot the ball. Bear Blitz, you're the crossbar king. To the Hounds, please make the playoffs. Good heavens, this is a rough year. Yeah, and that's it.
Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. And again, congratulations for carrying Bear Blitz in your first win.
Carries a strong word, but all right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Maz.
GG's. Good night, Devitt.
Peace.
Deb, it's always a fun interview to have on the stream. That is Deb from Steel Army, one of the admins of SGL and one of the longtime members. And yeah, it just does a lot of back-end stuff for us. So, yeah. Do we want to go ahead and check out the updated league standing after game week number 5? And here we go. And as you can see, here we go. Steel Army putting that number 1 in the win column. Not too much movement in terms of Los Verdes spot. Even at 1 and 4, they're holding on to that 7th spot. But yeah, Shorts, what do you see here?
Yeah, not as much movement as I would have expected. Los Verdes still holding close to that playoff spot. Some of the things coming into play here is the teams that have not had their bye week yet, hanging on to some higher spots. So you may see KC Cauldron and Timber's Army fall down as they've played 5 matches compared to most of those around them who have only played 4. But Los Verdes having played 5, it's kind of a tough loss for them. Kind of the same situation as Steel Army. 1 win in the first half of the season does put you in a tough spot, but it for sure does not put you out of the race for the playoffs. So we'll look for Steel Army to build some momentum off of that game and hope that Los Verdes kind of brings that gritty mentality to their future matches to take some more.
Yeah, again, one of the beauties of this league is that every game does matter. So even if you are losing series, getting those games in those losses does mean a lot. So you would have really hoped if you're Los Verdes to pick up a win or 2 in a series that you lose tonight, but didn't really happen. And yeah, they are kind of the odd man looking out right now as we look at the playoff table. And yeah, I don't know if we have anything else lined up for you guys. We could look at next week's schedule. I don't know if we have that. But if not, I think that should be just about it.
Yeah, anybody on this table that you're kind of seeing that's a surprise to you, whether it's higher or lower on the table?
The obvious surprise is the defending champions in 8th place. That is, yeah, don't really have. It's pretty self-explanatory. You don't really expect to see a team of that quality at 2 and 3, and in 8th place. And yeah, I think your team, the Rebellion 3-1, we spoke about that a little before the game tonight. I think kind of you guys are on a really good trajectory. So. Yeah, is there anything that stands out to you as we get ready for game week 6?
Yeah, I'd say it's got to be the two new teams, the Black Army and us. You know, we played in the postseason tournament or the postseason cup last season, so we had a little bit of exposure to the league. But Black Army coming in, starting the league off 4-0 is got to be a shock to most people, given that we hadn't seen them play at all. And didn't really know what we were getting, but them and then the locals kind of really showing up this season. We knew they were good; they've always been good, but this good is a little bit of a surprise, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. We always love seeing new teams do well, and yeah, we're absolutely seeing that this season with your team and Black Army. With that being said, guys, I think that's going to close it out for us here. I want to thank the only Mazar Maz for hosting the stream, running the stream, doing all the good stuff that he does. And yeah, thank you, Shorts, for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. I hope everybody in SGL has a great night and a great week ahead.
Have a good one, y'all. Peace.